Red-eye flight. It refers to an overnight flight that arrives at its destination early in the morning. Example, I booked a red-eye flight so I can arrive in New York by morning. Gate crasher. It's a humorous term for someone who arrives at the airport just in time to board their flight, often running to the gate. Example, I was a gate crasher today. I barely made it to my flight on time. Final boarding call. It's the last announcement made before the doors to the aircraft are closed, signaling that passengers should board immediately. Example, they just made the final boarding call. We need to hurry to the gate. Baggage claim. It's the area in the airport where passengers retrieve their checked luggage after their flight. Example, let's meet at baggage claim after we land. Jet lag. It refers to the tiredness and disorientation experienced after a long flight, especially when crossing multiple time zones. Example, I always struggle with jet lag after flying to Europe. Security checkpoint. It's the area in the airport where passengers and their belongings are screened before boarding their flight. Example, make sure to arrive early to the airport to allow time for the security checkpoint. Boarding pass. It's a document provided by the airline that allows a passenger to board their flight. Example, I printed my boarding pass at home to save time at the airport. Connecting flight. It's a flight that requires passengers to change planes at an intermediate airport to reach their final destination. Example, we have a connecting flight in Atlanta before we reach Miami. Departure lounge. It's the area in the airport where passengers wait before boarding their flight. Example, I'll be in the departure lounge grabbing a coffee before our flight. Overhead bin. It's the storage compartment above passenger seats on an airplane where carry-on luggage is stored during flight. Example, please place your smaller bags in the overhead bin and larger items under the seat in front of you. Flight delay. It's when a flight is postponed or rescheduled to depart later than its originally scheduled time. Example, our flight to Chicago has been delayed due to bad weather. Check-in counter. It's the location in the airport where passengers present their identification and receive their boarding passes before their flight. Example, let's head to the check-in counter to drop off our luggage. Lost and found. It's the area in the airport where items that have been misplaced or left behind by passengers are kept until they are claimed. Example, I left my jacket on the plane. I'll check the lost and found before we leave the airport. Arrival board. It's a digital display in the airport that shows the arrival times and statuses of incoming flights. Example, our flight is listed on the arrival board as arriving on time. Transit zone. It's a designated area within an airport where passengers who are transferring to another flight can wait without going through customs or security again. Example, we have a short layover, so we'll stay in the transit zone until our next flight.